What's going on, guys? Austin here. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 5-minute fantasies, Week 16, booming and busting wide receivers. My start of the week, I'm going to say, is going to be Jarvis Landry going up against Baltimore. Jarvis, he gets to face the number 2 cornerback on Baltimore, which, I know that both their cornerbacks made the Pro Bowl. I don't think either of them deserved it, but nonetheless, he's probably going to be facing more zone coverage and a little bit more of Marcus Peters, who, Marcus Peters has been known to give up big plays in search of looking for picks. So expect Jarvis to be, the main focus in what Cleveland is going to try to make as a comeback against Baltimore. Golden Tate going up against Washington. Clearly Washington has wretched, terrible, no good, evil, vile defense that can't really do anything. So, Golden Tate, I know that, whoever that, I can't even remember who the other guy was that had the big game against the Eagles with Eli Manning, but Golden Tate's the number 1 wide receiver on this team. And expect him to play like it. This is, I believe Eli Manning's going to be playing, and expect Eli to want to get a win. It's kind of a big deal that you'd finish your career with a losing record and potentially be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, expect Golden Tate to have a big part of this win over Washington. And then at the same time, I'm also going to say you're going to want to start Terry McLaurin. Everybody knows the Giants' defense is also pretty bad. Terry has, developed his chemistry again back with Dwayne Haskins over the last couple weeks. People don't realize, they played at Ohio State together. They're both rookies, meaning that all you needed to do was just kind of get that little bit of chemistry back. And he had a pretty good showing up against Green Bay last week. He should have a good showing up against the Giants this week. Start Courtland Sutton going up against the Detroit Lions. I realize he's going to be playing Darius Slay, but, even though Slay made the Pro Bowl, he's been more of like a zone cover guy instead of like a one-on-one shutdown. I expect Courtland Sutton to definitely be doing some damage against Detroit. Look for him to be a solid flex starter. And then DJ Moore going up against Indianapolis. DJ Moore is a nice, solid possession receiver, jump ball kind of guy. He's good at running routes, but he's not that tall, but he's long. And Indianapolis isn't that great at covering long guys. So expect him to be a big part of this game plan with Carolina trying to get a couple of wins to end the season. John Brown up against New England, I'm going to say is my first bust. Clearly he's been having a phenomenal season for, the way that his career started, but, going up against Stephon Gilmore, he is going to have to be facing probably the Defensive Player of the Year this year. And, because of that, I think that New England thinks that if John Brown gets shut down, they can win the game. The same way that if James White gets shut down, Buffalo thinks they can win the game. So look for John Brown to not only be single covered by Stephon Gilmore, but maybe even be bracketed by a safety as well. Because New England really knows that they need this game. I'm going to say sit Robert Woods going up against San Francisco. I think that the last couple weeks he's been a bigger part of the game plan than Cooper Kupp has. And, it was when Robert Woods was playing well that the Rams were winning. And, Cooper Kupp was putting up much better numbers, but they weren't dominating those games. So I think San Francisco might shift Richard Sherman onto Robert Woods and then just put safeties behind Cooper Kupp for this game. I'm going to say sit Tyreek Hill. Chicago knows that if they want to win this game, they're going to have to put Eddie Jackson out behind him. Tyreek Hill is a guy that's just been beating people all year, and I think that Chicago deals a lot better with speed than New England does and that Denver does, even though those are both relatively good pass defenses. Chicago is going to be better with this speed. And then at the same time, I'm going to say sit Allen Robinson. The last couple of weeks, the Kansas City defense has played really well. They shut down New England. They shut down the Broncos. And then the week before that, the New England game, they pretty much killed the Raiders, ended their season. So don't expect this, this magic from Mitchell Trubisky to come back. I think that, Allen Robinson is not going to have any breathing room in this game. And then A.J. Brown, the Titans wide receiver, going up against Marshawn Lattimore and the New Orleans Saints. Don't expect him to have much breathing room either. Marshawn Lattimore is a guy who his first couple games were somewhat lackluster. Then like his middle 8 or 9 were just fantastic, and expect him to get back because now they have better help in the secondary. And I think that it's one of those big matchups that New Orleans needs to win out if they want any hopes at getting the 1 seed. And Marshawn Lattimore plays bigger and bigger spots, so expect him to really put the clamp down on AJ Brown this week.